Hello, my dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are in the best of your health and enthusiastic towards your studies. Myself, Teacher Parul, welcomes you all in the science class. As you all know, in previous videos, we have already started this chapter. We have completed two parts of the chapter. Now, my dear students, in this video, we are going to move ahead with our chapter 1, that is matter in our surroundings. So, my dear students, in this video, we are going to deal with a few topics. So, let us see which are the topics which we are going to cover in this chapter. This is the last part of your science chapter 1. So here are the following topics which we are going to cover in this video. That is, can matter change its states? We are going to see effects of temperature, effects of pressure, effects of change of pressure, and the last topic is evaporation. So my dear students, let us begin with that. Can matter change its state? Let us say that in detail. Change of matter or else change of states of matter. So, the phenomenon of change from one state of matter to another and then back to the original state is called the interconversion of states of matter, or else we can also refer that there is a change in the state of the matter. Let us see with one example so you will understand the first point very nicely. Firstly, we will take the example of an ice cube. Okay, when ice cube is kept in the refrigerator, it will be in the same state, that is the solid state. As soon as I'll remove that and I'll keep it under the room temperature. Okay, so what will happen to that ice cube? It will start to melt, right? So the solid, it has changed into liquid form. Okay, now that liquid form, that liquid whatever water is there from the ice cube, that same water I am going to keep again in the refrigerator to freeze that. So again, what will happen to that liquid state? It will change into solid state. So there was an interconversion. There was an interconversion in the state of the matter, that solid, it has changed into liquid, and then again that liquid has changed into solid. Okay, so changes in this state of matter occurs and we have seen the example also. I hope that this point is clear to you. Now, matter can change its states. Okay, as we all know, matter can change its states. In many examples are there, but one of the best example I have given of the ice cube that get converted into liquid. Okay, so matter can change its states. Water can exist in three states of matter. Okay, water, it can exist in three states of matter. Water as a solid, that is as ice, in liquid as water, and in gas as the water vapor. Okay, now I have told you that the ice cube, it melts and it get converted into liquid form, that is water. Now that same water, if I will start boiling it, what will happen to that water? Okay, so water vapor will come, right? That liquid water is now converted into gaseous. Now that gaseous form, I will collect that water. Okay, it will be collected in the form of the evaporation, right? And then I will condense that water. So by the process of condensation, I can collect that liquid again. Okay, so that liquid is converted. Now that liquid water I'll keep into the refrigerator. So water has changed in its three states, that is from solid, it will go under liquid, that is water, and from liquid and the water vapor, that is solid. That water vapor I will collect again and I will keep in the refrigerator, so that water from the gaseous form, whichever water is collected, that will be converted into solid again. Okay, so there is a change in the state of matter. Effects of temperature. Effects of temperature. On increasing the temperature of solids, the kinetic energy of the particle increases, which overcomes the forces of attraction between the particles. Thereby, the solid melts and it is converted into the liquid states. Okay, so effects of temperature. Now we are going to see what are the effects of the temperature, how it is affecting the substance, okay, how it is affecting the states of the matter. So, like first we have taken example of this solid. Now when solid from the cooler region, that is from the refrigerator, it is kept in the room temperature where the temperature is hot, or you can tell where the temperature is more. So what happens? The kinetic energy of the particle, it increases, which overcomes the force of attraction between the particles of the solid. So solid starts to melt, and that solid, it is converted into liquid. The temperature at which a solid melts to become a liquid at the atmospheric pressure is called as its melting point. Okay, the melting point of ice is 273.16 Kelvin. Okay, so the temperature at which the solid, okay, starts to melt, that point is known as the melting point. Okay, so the melting point of ice is 273°.16 Kelvin. Latent heat. The hidden heat which breaks the force of attraction between the molecules is known as the latent heat. Okay, the hidden heat which breaks the force of attraction between the molecules. Okay, now solid, one substance is there of solid, any substance we can take. Now inside that molecules are present. Okay, so the latent heat is the hidden heat which breaks the force of attraction. Okay, the force of attraction between the particles is broken down with the help of this latent heat. Since the heat energy is hidden in the bulk of matter, it is called as latent heat. Okay, now the latent heat of fusion. The latent heat requires to convert 1 kilogram of a solid into liquid at an atmospheric pressure as its melting point is known as latent heat of fusion. Okay, latent heat of fusion is now as 1 kilogram we can take of solid, it is converted into the liquid. Okay, so for that they need the atmospheric pressure, they need that much pressure, the molecules, the particles of the solid, it needs that much pressure. So as it starts, as its melting point, okay, atmospheric pressure, so as it starts to melt, that point it is known as the latent heat of the fusion. The temperature at which a liquid starts boiling at atmospheric pressure, it is called as the boiling point. Okay, now the boiling point, in that, in the effect of the temperature, when we can tell that it is a boiling point. Okay, now we will take one example. Now water we have kept for boiling. Okay, now firstly what will happen, there will be no change in few seconds. Afterwards you will see small very small droplets will come. Okay, then you will see bubbles will start coming. So at the time when the bubbles start coming, that is the boiling point of the water. Okay, this I have already explained you in part 1. Okay, and even in part 2 also I have explained the same thing. So that is the boiling point of that water or whatever molecule, whatever it is there. Okay, so I hope till here it is clear to you. Latent heat of vaporization. Okay, from the name itself indicates that something is going to be related to the vapors. Okay, so something is going to be related to the gas. Now as in the previous topic, we have converted from solid to the liquid. Okay, now this liquid we are going to convert it into gas at the atmospheric pressure. Okay, which atmospheric pressure? How we can convert liquid into gas? By boiling, right? So we are going to convert this liquid into gas at the atmospheric pressure at its boiling point. This is known as the latent heat of vaporization. The process in which a gas on cooling turns into liquid as its specific temperature is called condensation or liquefaction. Okay, this I have already explained you before also, and we have taken one example also. Okay, now see, water is there. Now we are going to boil that water. if I'll start boiling that water, what will happen if I'll boil that in extent level, so that from that water vapors will start to come out, right? So once the vapors will come out, okay, now that vapors, I need to collect that water again. I don't want to evaporate it fully. So what I will do, I will collect that vapors. So that vapors, I can collect that vapors in any jar, okay, any glass jar, okay, or on top of that I can keep, so that vapors will be attached to that container, okay, in the form of the tiny droplet. That is the process of the condensation, or it is also known as the liquefaction. So that will come in the form of the tiny droplets, so that droplets I can collect. Okay, so that process of collecting that droplets, okay, that process of collecting that water, that is also known, that is known as condensation, and it is also known as liquefaction. Okay, so formation of the clouds is due to the condensation of the water from the earth's surface. This you have already studied in your lower standards also. Okay, so the change of the states of substance directly from a solid to gases without changing into the liquid state is called as sublimation. Okay, now few things, okay, it doesn't undergo a liquid process. From solid it is directly converted into gaseous form. That type of the substance is that type of the process, it is known as a process of sublimation. One of the best example of the sublimation is heating of the ammonium chloride. When the ammonium chloride it is heated, it doesn't get converted into liquid form. It straight away gets converted into gaseous form. So ammonium chloride is found in the solid form. When it is heated, it gives fumes, okay, it gives gaseous form of it. So it undergoes a sublimation process. I hope till here it is clear to you. Now the freezing point, okay, so the temperature at which the states of substance changes from liquid to a solid is called the freezing point of that substance. Okay, now we are going to freeze something. Now I have kept water, right, in the freezer. So if you will go and check after 10 minutes, okay, so what will happen? After 5 minutes you will go, that water will be chilled. Okay, then after 10 minutes you will go, you will see if that is a tray of a ice cube or whatever in the container you have kept your water, so a layer on the top it will come. Okay, so if you will touch that, inside that water only will be there. So the freezing has just started. So when the freezing starts at its initial point, that is the freezing point of any substance, okay, whether it is water or whether it is any other liquid. Okay, so then the slowly first top layer will be freezed, then slowly it will freeze the whole whatever thing is kept. Okay, so that will be the, whenever it starts, the starting, the initial will be the freezing point of that substance. So the next topic is effect of change of pressure. Now we are going to see if there is a change in the effect of the pressure, then what happens. Okay, so one of the best example is of the gas. Gases can be liquefied, okay, by applying pressure. Okay, gas, it gets converted into liquid, liquefying substance, a liquefying thing. Okay, so gas can be liquefied by applying pressure and reducing the temperature. Okay, when a high pressure is applied to a gas, it gets compressed, and if the temperature is lowered, then the gas is liquefied. Okay, so solid carbon dioxide gets converted directly into gaseous state on the decrease of the pressure to 1 atmosphere without coming into liquid state. This is the reason that solid carbon dioxide is also known as dry ice. Okay, evaporation. This process you are learning from the lower standards. Okay, as you all know, this process of evaporation, evaporating something. Let us learn one more time in more detail. So, the process of conversion of a substance from the liquid state to the gaseous state at any temperature below its boiling point is called evaporation, or it is also known as vaporization. Okay, converting the liquid to the gaseous state, okay, below its boiling point. So that is known as evaporation or vaporization. Okay, it evaporates or it vaporizes. So that process is known as evaporation or vaporization. Evaporation is a surface phenomenon. Now let us see the factors affecting the rate of evaporation. So the rate of evaporation increases on the increasing the surface area of the liquid. Okay, so the rate of the evaporation, it get increased by increasing the surface area of the liquid. The rate of evaporization also increases with an increase in the temperature. Decrease in the humidity increases the rate of the evaporation. Okay, as there will be the decrease in the humidity, now whatever liquid will be there, okay, to convert it, they undergo a state of heating process. So as it will be heated, there will be obviously there will be decrease in the humidity. Okay, the moisture will be lessened. Okay, so there will be decrease in the humidity, so obviously the rate of evaporation will increase. Okay, so evaporation will be faster. An increase in the wind speed increases the rate of evaporation. Okay, as soon as there will be increase in the wind speed, there will be increase in the rate of evaporation. I hope till here it is clear to you. Evaporation causes cooling. The particles of liquid absorb energy from the surrounding to regain the energy lost during evaporation. Okay, the particles of the liquid, it absorbs energy from the surrounding. Why they absorb the energy? To regain the energy which they have lost during the process of the evaporation. So this absorption of the energy from the surrounding make the surrounding cool. Okay, so lately scientists are talking about 5 states of matter or 5 phases of matter. Okay, scientists they are talking about the 5 states of the matter, as these are the solids, liquids, gases, plasma and the Bose-Einstein condensate. Okay, so let us see that. As we have already learnt about the three states of the matter, that is solids, liquid and gases. Now the introduction of this is already given. The introduction of this fourth and the fifth state of matter is already given. So let us see about plasma and the Bose-Einstein condensate. So the fourth state of the matter is the plasma. Let us see about it. So this state of the matter, that is the plasma, it consists of the super energetic and super excited particles. These particles are in the form of the ionized gases. They are already ionized. Okay, the fluorescent tube and the neon sign bulbs, okay, they consist of this plasma. The fifth state of matter, Bose-Einstein condensate. Indian physicist Satyendra Nath Bose made a study regarding the fifth state of matter. Based on his study, Albert Einstein predicted a fifth state of matter which is known as Bose-Einstein condensate. It was brought up by the two physicists, that is Satyendra Nath Bose and the Albert Einstein. The Bose-Einstein condensate or BEC is formed by cooling a gas by extremely low density to super low temperature. Okay, this is formed by cooling a gas. It is cooled at extremely low temperature to the super low temperatures. Okay, extremely low density to the super low temperature. So I hope till here it is clear to you. With this, my dear students, we have ended this chapter, that is chapter 1, matter in a surrounding. I will be back with another new video, new chapter. Till then, my dear students, stay safe, stay healthy. See you all soon. Bye bye.